And we are live. Cool. All right. How are you doing, Hernanda? Hi, YouTube. Hi,
Hi.
Facebook. Autumn community, Automites. Thanks for joining us for the last segment of this quarter's cohort series. And so today we will be discussing uh, droning 101 and all things droning, becoming a technician, becoming a drone pilot, and learning about the industry as well by gaining that certificate for the Federal Aviation Administration. Excuse me. So, I want to introduce myself. My name is Issa White. I'm the program director of the Austin Urban Technology Movement, and I am responsible for making sure that if you join Autumn as either a community member or as an Automite, that you are privy to all of the information, whether it be through someone's experience, through job opportunities, through education opportunities, events like this one, volunteering, community service opportunities, and making sure you're learning all about the tech industry through those areas. Um, the purpose of the organization is to really focus on these areas. Autumn wants to make sure we're exposing you, providing workforce development, and building social capital and advocating for to make technology a standard in the household and in education. And so under the exposure section, exposing you, and I mean exposing you, I'm talking about the Day in the Life or the Horizons programs, and that's basically providing a face to a name to some of these jobs or occupations that are in the tech industry. Back when things were normal, we essentially had the opportunity to share the workplace, the actual workplace, taking our candidates and automates to an organization or a company and taking over and learning about what it is like to be at that company for a day in the life. This is right now for the virtual platform. We're going to be doing it something like this with the cohort series. And then the second option is this Horizon. So if you have an organization of students who essentially kind of resemble like the show and tell, except it's like show and tell someone's career and life experience, we're able to bring that person into the classroom and share that tech expert, share their experience and how they were able to obtain their career and what decisions they made, and maybe share some experience and engage that way. Workforce development, that's really what we're honing in on also today in terms of those hard skills. They're also the skills you need to do the job, the skills you need to have to obtain that certification. And that can be obtained, through boot camps, be used through apprenticeships and internships, and then also utilizing those other skills like your soft skills to then communicate and make sure that you are networking and utilizing, like getting your resumes and getting your interviews all teed up so that you can advocate for yourself and sell yourself for the position. Building social capital. We actually just had our Rethink Austin event on March 20th, this past Saturday. If you missed it, please visit our YouTube page. Just Google or YouTube AUTMTX and Rethink Austin. Rethink ATX, I believe, and it'll pull up the recording from that experience. You don't want to miss it. We are having it now on a quarterly basis versus an annual basis. So we'll be coming back together June 20th, I believe. Corporate events, that is an opportunity to make sure you can then practice those soft skills I just mentioned and share, what art skills you have obtained and with our different partners on the corporate space, as well as, maybe potentially meet that potential, mentor or employer or just someone in the network who knows the space can help you navigate it that way. And finally, making technology a standard for everyone, because we know technology literally is the bridge between you being a professional in any space now that everything's touching tech, as well as connecting yourself, in your lives to what's going on in the world. And so with that petition, we want to make sure we're providing internet access, we're providing our distributing computers, and providing digital skills to help you build your career and be connected. And so if you're interested and want to support our efforts, feel free to sign a petition at change.org and sign a petition at Texas Technology for All. Spread the word, word of mouth, your social media, share with your friends, join the newsletter. You can get information like that. And then we are taking accepting monetary donations to help offset some of the operational costs to make sure that all of these efforts are free to those who need them. So I mentioned the word Automite maybe a couple of times, and you're like, what is that? So to be an Automite, that's a person who is going through our program and they're needing to be trained. They're seeking they're seeking job opportunities, and they want to, join the tech industry in general. And so they're going to be participating on our hard skills, our soft skills, mentorship, volunteering, and networking events on a monthly basis. So today we're going to be talking about one of those options for the hard skills, and that can be technical or it can be non-technical. Today will be technical on the drone side, but we're going to explain what you need to do in order to obtain that skill set and certification when you get to that point. But then there's also the other components of mastering those soft skills, making sure you're able to communicate, like I said, those skills that you have obtained, and then having those vulnerable conversations with what I like to call your career mom or your career dad and mentorship matchup, and then making sure you're, always giving back to the community. And what people, might take for granted is that when you volunteer or you join some of these networking and events, that you could, like I said, be networking and meeting your next employer, meeting your next colleague, or maybe potential partner for a company you want to start. So take advantage of these opportunities to meet and connect with these individuals, to get your foot out there and get your name out there, excuse me, when it comes to joining the tech industry. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ananda White over Black Girls Drone. Ananda?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you for having me, Autumn and Isa. I really appreciate it. I am excited. I've been excited since the first day you told me about this. So I am so
Awesome.
excited that here we are today, Women's History Month. Even
Right? This is a
better.
good way to end our cohort series.
Yes. So
Yes,
we're excited.
definitely. And so I wanted to just, if you could share a little bit about, Black Girls Drone and how you got started.
Yes, absolutely. So we launched in January of 2020. And of
Mm,
course, we launched right into the pandemic. Who knew that was coming?
right.
And it's been one heck of a challenge, I tell you, as a founder of color and in the tech space and an entrepreneur. It is very challenging to say the least. But here we are, despite the pandemic. We're still here.
Yes.
And, we survived. So we, of course, stayed on the course, making very little change. The biggest change we had to do was, like everyone else, of course, was to pivot and to get everything digitally and be online. But staying in line with the digital format served us well, because we were able to market to not only girls of color locally, but women and
Hmm.
girls abroad. So we were actually able to connect with young women and girls from Canada and places like
Wow.
Africa and
Hmm.
Ireland and India, and we had them join us for this summer as volunteers, as STEM instructors, as part of our program directors. And so they were on our team working with us to bring to life the aviation programming and content for our girls.
That's amazing. And congratulations on launching.
Thank you.
And so you're speaking of, working with, girls of all kinds. I want to know what's the good description of a candidate who would be successful in a Black Girls Drone? Could you kind of give the breakdown, and then what are some of the details about the course they'll be joining?
Sure. So, candidates, of course, let me say, I recently thought about it, and it's actually if you're 13 years old, you can
Oh,
actually.
that's great.
Now they have changed to where 13, you can actually register your drone and start studying for your drone pilot's license. But 16 plus is the preferred age, that we know that there's a lot more maturity there. And then we can
Hmm.
also help those age groups, the Gen Zers. 16 to 26 is a real sweet spot. Of course, we
Hmm.
do. I want to just quickly say we do have adult education as well, but it's a sweet
Hmm.
spot, because we can help you get into a career and get you onto a career path that is inclusive of aviation and inclusive of drones.
Okay.
Um, I was going to say, and then too, I wanted to say that's where we have the STEM
Hmm.
component. So
Mm-hmm.
we are, and we have the A, so we do some of the arts. And for the arts and culture, we help you understand the history of drones,
Mm-hmm.
the history and things of aviation. And we also understand that we want to make you, our students and our participants, well rounded. And we make it
Mm-hmm.
really short and sweet. So we give you 8 weeks. We don't have the schedule. We have a suggested schedule for you to follow in order for you to be successful and study and
Mm-hmm.
plan
Mm-hmm.
to take that test. And then we also offer our mobile app for you to take it. And then we have
Mm-hmm.
a Zoom class schedule where we meet, periodically to check in with you.
Okay. And so, what are some of the things that happen on the Zoom call? Is it like a meet and greet with, someone who's actually in that position already, or are they learning any particular content that's on the Zoom that's not on the mobile side of the content?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the meetings is on Zoom are for the class participants in order. It's kind of like an office hours, and then
Okay.
we also do a check in with you to see if you have any questions. But it's also a time for you to talk and really have a talk through some of the things you may be looking at inside
Mm-hmm.
of the curriculum, right? So there may be some activities that you have and you have questions about. And so as a group or at your own time, if it's just one of you that join, and let's say there's not another person that's on the scheduled time to, they say, I have to work at that time, I can't make the Zoom call, then it becomes a one-on-one, but it's not anything to discourage you. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely or to come down onto you. It's just to help you
Mm-hmm.
and get you stronger and probably show you some tips and tricks inside of studying.
Awesome. And so, how do you go about signing up for the program, and then what can you talk about the certification and what that process is like to take that exam?
Yes, absolutely. So our process is simple. We like to keep it simple and sweet. And so
Mm-hmm.
for you, we just get an interactive survey first off, but we do have a small application that we'll send to interested participants. And then
Mm-hmm.
part 107 is the test that you'll be taking, and it's administered through the FAA. And
Mm-hmm.
so inside of the program, we walk you through all of those details. And then inside of that, we also have professionals that are going to be mentors. We have a community of aviation experts that work with us and that are our partners now, and that they'll also be along the journey with you. At some point, you'll probably be able to go to one of them as your employer or apply to an internship or a sponsorship for some roles they may have, because we're going to get you connected in that space because we want to get people on the pathway to career in even entrepreneurship. Cohorts are monthly. Um, we at first we were thinking about starting them every Monday. That's what I started off doing, and that got a little overwhelming because the camp started growing, and then other parts of the business start growing. As if you become an entrepreneur, you will see yourself that things change, and even in your own life, right? Because you have to treat your daily life and daily things you do just like a business. You have checks and
Mm-hmm.
balances there too. So things change over time. So we're very flexible and open to share, time slots with you that work for you and schedules that work for you. And we want to be as accommodating to you as possible to help you get to the end goal, which is taking the test.
Thank you for that. And then, so I shared in the chat here for anybody who's viewing, we have our drone interactive survey. There in the link, there's a link. And then you also have the email address to contact Hernanda. Okay, so that's in the chat for you to use when you are ready. And so, completing that FAA certification, what are the steps? Can you walk us through what that process is like and what things we should be aware of, how we can go about preparing, anything regarding that certification?
Yes, absolutely. I would tell anyone that's interested to probably just think about what aviation roles you want to pursue, because becoming a drone pilot is the first step into getting you into the FAA world of work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so and once you step in there, there's a lot that you can do once you get your FAA certification.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to prepare you, and we do those things inside of the class inside of our talks. There
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of assignments that we'll provide information for you to, like, we have a tracker, we have other things that you'll be able to use that will help guide you along the way. And again, we have a mentor that will
Hmm.
also help and walk you through those things. Then also, again, the group meeting, those are, like we said, TBA, they're announced. If it's just you, then it's set on the schedule. All of those links and things are provided once you've paid for the class and registered, and we have you going. And then we help you get registered and set up through the FAA to go ahead and get signed up to go test. And then when you passed the test, you've passed, you learn your results right there. So we'll
Hmm.
know, and then you just email me and give me the thumbs up, and have a great picture and say,
Hmm.
hey, I passed. And then we walk you through those next steps in registering your first drone. We have opportunities for you to purchase a drone from us as well. So there'll be something really fun for you to do. And
Quick
then you're
question.
in.
Oh, then you're in. I do have a quick question. So, what is some of the content that a potential drone pilot or technician will be covering during the class? Like, what are they learning? Like weather maps, or are they, flying a drone mobily? How does it
Oh,
work?
yeah, that's a great question. So, yes, you will be learning to read maps and charts. And everything that you'll need will be provided in the links that we give you in the weekly assignments. But that's a great question. It's going to be over weather, and it's going to be maps, and it's going to be charts. And it's also a little bit of math in there, too. There's some measuring that you'll have to do. There are some technical parts of it that you'll have to know, and some rules and regulations about government rules and regulations as well that are just basic for the FAA. Let's say that aviation rules. Just kind of put it lightly. They have the
Mhm.
yeses and nos, the do's and don'ts. So that's kind of the way to sum it up. But you'll learn all of those things that will help you be proficient. And then if you're looking to fly your drone, we connect you with opportunities to fly your drones.
Mhm.
If you have one, we help you select a drone. And if you don't, we get you an opportunity to purchase a drone.
And then for the exam, what kind of content is covered in the exam? Are they asking you to complete like some kind of project or do a simulation? What is the actual exam for the FAA certification like?
Yeah, so those are just questions and answers. It's taken, some sites have a computerized test, and some still use, I think, pen and paper, not very many. It's
Mhm.
computerized. You're sitting at a desk and you're going over everything that we give you on the assignments are what is going to be expected of you on the exam, weather, charts, all that
Mhm.
kind of good stuff. No proficiency. You don't have to go and fly a drone there.
Okay. So, and then that was my next question. So, when it comes to actually flying the drone, is that part of the course as well to learn how to actually utilize or use the drone? When do you start actually flying a drone?
Yes. And so that is, if you would like to learn how to fly your drone, let's say that you're interested, then we have an application that you can use. You can go in and start simming, and then we can help you get registered to do that. That is a part of you learning controls. You will also learn how to handle a drone. And then again, if you wanted to do this in person, that will give you the confidence to go forward when you buy your drone, your first drone, which that
Mhm.
won't be, it should not be anything out of the pocket, well, out of the roof cost. Like, you
Mhm.
shouldn't spend $500 or $600 on your first drone. You're likely to crash it. But we have a drone that is specifically for learning use, that we've teamed up with a company that provides that for us, and we help you get the drone, your first learning drone, and then all of the rules that you'll need with that are a part of us teaching you how to fly the drone. Depending on where you are, we have drone pilots that we can connect you to, and we also get them into the ecosystem where they can help you learn how to be proficient in doing that in
Mhm.
person. But because of COVID, everything's been online. We want to stay safe, and so we offer the sim, and then we offer the in-person option to you later on.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And so, outside of joining the schedule on the mobile device, on your phone or a computer or your tablet, whichever device you have, and outside of actually learning how to fly the drone, what are and in the Zoom class, or excuse me, Zoom calls, what are some other things that somebody could be doing that would make them more successful in your course?
Yes, be a reader, right? It's a lot of reading. It's not for the light readers. It's not for the skimmers. You got to do some reading. It's a lot. Study hours, I would say, for me, it would be because I studied every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say to put yourself on a 3-hour schedule block because you
Mm-hmm.
want to practice, you want to
Mm-hmm.
study, and you want to read the questions over and over again. We give you a sheet that has some, prep test type questions on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so those are things that you'll want to practice. A lot, like I said, it's a lot of reading and understanding the aeronautics that come along with it. Things that I can tell you that you could be prepared for are understanding weather and understanding just watch your weatherman on, or weather woman and traffic and things like that, and listen to certain ways that they talk about traffic and how they talk about storms and how they talk about the weather. Those are things that you'll want to pay attention to because when you become a real pilot, you have to, and I don't mean you're a fake pilot because you're a drone pilot. You're a real pilot as a drone pilot. You're a remote pilot. It means you're on the ground. But if you are in the cockpit in the seat pilot, um, they have a test called instrumentation. And so that is the equivalent of what we teach you. We teach you the equivalency of instrumentation on a drone. And so paying attention to your clock and time and understanding how to read in military and then understanding your military alphabet. And so those are really cool ways for you to get, brushed up on things and think about it in a way that you're going to be flying in the sky one day and you'll be in control of a huge commercial jet going somewhere and you need to safely land and safely take off. So that's your responsibility. And think about if you're on a plane, what would you want your pilot to be? Would you want your pilot to be drunk? Probably not. Would you want your pilot to be sleepy and tired? Probably not, even though they fly like that. Sometimes no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you wouldn't want your pilot that way. That's the same thing for you. As a drone pilot, you don't want to be sleepy, you don't want to be tired, and you definitely don't want to be drunk. You can't be drunk flying a drone. So those are just some quick little tidbits. And thinking about your lifestyle, think about are you ready to learn the type of technologies that come along with it? Because we have a second part to it. Of course, we throw the technology component in there. That's when you start coding. We do some other things, and those are hands-on projects that coincide with what we're doing as well. But all of those things combined make you a great pilot. It makes you think like a pilot. It makes you operate yourself like a pilot, and it makes you be organized like a pilot.
And so when it comes to networking and communicating with other people who are in the industry, are there other groups outside of, Autumn that, might be beneficial to that person's success? Or what are some conversations that are normally had during this time while they're preparing to get that license or that certification?
Yes, absolutely. So with that, that's where we come in with a community service project.
Mm-hmm.
And so we provide opportunities, lists of opportunities with our partners in community service based organizations that can help you get that. We want you to learn community service and be a part of that. That's a part of our lifeline as well. And we are community service based in the sense that we provide operations and connectivity to the community through social justice in ways that we want everyone to feel the inclusion and be equitable in these things. So we promote ways for you to be more inclusive and equitable in your ways in your community and promote those same things. We know from COVID being so drastic to everyone that they have this lack of emotional and social connections to people.
Mhm.
And so that's what the community service project is. Community service based learning is also giving you a chance to be connected to your community and have an
Mhm.
emotional connection to the project as well. And then for the
Mhm.
outcome, you'll be able to tell us how that made you feel and also make you a better, well rounded person, and it looks really great on your resume. Join the Black Girl Drone membership. We have opportunities for scholarship and financial assistance for continuing education in aviation. And we do offer some scholarship for the drone pilot course.
Oh, good. I was just about to ask that last. Are there any scholarships or financial assistance available for either the drone or for the class? And so you answered that. So joining that membership would be a way of obtaining one of those, right?
Yes, and then I'd also like to say with that too, we do want you to understand that through scholarships and financial aid, or well, financial assistance or financial aid that can help you, we
Mm-hmm.
do want you to know that you can use some of the learning that you have now to
Mm-hmm.
further your education in
Mm-hmm.
aviation through internships and externships as well.
Perfect. Thank you for the information. And so, after you get your FAA certification, what's the most expected outcome? And then, what are the most popular career paths somebody would take after completing your course?
Yes, absolutely. And so that would definitely be those paid internships. That's what we have going on now. We
Mm-hmm.
have continuing education as well. We've partnered with some really great universities to help us out. And we have some paid roles along with the Black Girls Drone within our organization that we can,
Mm-hmm.
working with this tech startup and getting to understand, helping us with UIX and research and development,
Mm-hmm.
UI, UX design, marketing, social media interns. Those are things that you
Mm-hmm.
can look to do. And even if you're not technical, there even in you, let me say, if you take your drone pilot's license and you take a drone pilot course with us and you get your license, it doesn't mean that you have to be proficient and use that drone pilot license as the only job you can have. You can get a job working in the police department, or you could get a job
Mm-hmm.
working in search and rescue for FEMA. So there are a lot of other roles that we have. One of our most commonly filled roles is our kids working at Texas Instruments in the electrical engineering department. And then we have another organization that's a civil engineering firm, a real estate firm, and construction firms. And they hire part-time students of ours. This summer, they're going to be doing that as well, to give
Mm-hmm.
you the experience of on-the-job training, hands-on learning experiences, and aviation partners that we've teamed up with this summer will also provide opportunities in the fall for our
Mm-hmm.
girls. And if you're a young man, you're open to join us as well.
And I remember you shared these other opportunities, as you mentioned. You could join the police department in terms of assisting in that capacity, or FEMA, and just a slew of opportunities that now joining is now, what's the word they use is, I'm having a pause, disrupting certain industries because of the way we're using droning and autopilot, and just, not hands free, but essentially pilot, free um, devices. And so when it comes to exploring, some pages, I know real estate, agents have drones to show off their
Yeah,
houses in a more creative way, or maybe some of these commercials that you see nowadays, they're using drones. So I definitely see the breadth of opportunities that someone could take advantage of by just having this certification.
absolutely. There's no stone left unturned in the drone UAS industry. It's here to stay. It's a huge market. It's over billions of dollars. Um, Primarily, the biggest way to get in is um, through a course like ours. And then also, once let's say that you haven't elected to go to college, there are roles within other opportunities that we see on
Mm-hmm.
the screen that will allow you to be, you know, equipped with the skills, soft and hard, to be able to compete
Mm-hmm.
in those roles.
Definitely. And so today, the idea is for you on Facebook and you on YouTube, that if you're interested in getting involved and getting your certification and starting your career in the industry of aviation, specifically in droning. We want you to go ahead and join Autumn, so we can go and get you on our newsletter, on our list, so that you can know exactly what's going on throughout our community, what other opportunities there are to practice those hard skills, soft skills, get a mentor, do your community service, and network under our networking and events opportunities, and then focus in on our droning cohort with Black Girls Drone. And so essentially it's a couple of steps you would take here. You would join like I said, the website at autmtx.org. Select the contact us and select join Autumn. Fill out the short form. We will get you in contact after that. Once you explain that you're interested in the joining program, we would directly put you in contact with Hernanda and her team over at Black Girls Drone to get you registered and start the program. And so I see you have a list of ideas or activities you would want a candidate who wants to be part of Black Girls Drone to participate in. Could you share a little bit about the contest and the newsletter and all things Black Girls Drone?
Yes, absolutely. So we're excited to kick off our 2021 summer initiatives, and we want you to sign up at www.blackgirlsdrone.org. Receive our updates, our event invites, latest drone tech news. We want you to become drone lit. Get lit with drones. Enter our contest. We have a flight to Paris. There were a trip to Paris that we're giving away. And so we want to invite you to go to Paris, take a trip with us, and of course, have some fun doing that. And then also take our assessment that we'd love to have you be a part of that. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Reach out if you have any questions. I'm always here to help. Definitely want to get you drone lit.
Oh my goodness, thank you for that. And so if you have any questions, this is a good time to drop them off in the chat. We did include all of the links you need to make you drone lit and also a part of the Autumn community in partnership with Black Girls Drone. And so we do want to thank you for joining us today. And is there any other tidbits or tips that maybe somebody who, maybe is unsure about joining, or they still have some questions, or they can't believe how, simple it is to join this type of organization? Is there anything you want to share with those individuals?
Yeah, I just want to say, you take out your phones, use that QR code, hit that, contact me, take the survey. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to contact me anytime. If you have any questions about drones or you're really unsure, that enter those 2 surveys that you just got those links for will help. You can reach out, like I said, anytime. Best thing is always be prepared for what you don't know. So what you do know now is to start looking at some drone videos and seeing if that's right for you. Knowing that there's a big opportunity out there for careers, see if that's where you're ready to go. And if it is, come and join us and take flight. Get
Definitely. Definitely. And also for those out there, thank you so much. If you, still contemplating, droning for you, you can always visit our website and download our app that it shows different emerging technologies that are coming up in the world nowadays in terms of technology. And honestly, it's a good way to expand your knowledge about what is out there, because that will help you hone in on what opportunities are then out there when it comes to your career. So join us on Autumn, AUTMTX.org. Select the tab, Get Trained. It will show a QR code similar to the one for Black Girls Drone for you to download our app, create a profile, and access all the information we have for you there. But other than that, I want to thank you, Hernanda, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Contact both of us on our social media profiles that we have listed below. But if you have any questions, reach out to Autumn. Like I said, go ahead and join Autumn so we can get you in the community, making sure that you're in contact with organizations like Black Girls Drone and maybe some of our other cohorts that we've mentioned before today. This will not be the last cohort series that we will have. This will be going on as long as we're adding cohorts to our organization, and as long as we want to keep sharing our different occupations in the in the industry of technology. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.